Hey everyone, welcome back to the English Conversation Podcast. I'm Ava, and today we're talking about something very real. You know those moments when someone asks you a simple question, and suddenly your brain just stops?
Yeah, like your brain is there, but also not there. It's online, but very slow, like bad Wi Fi.
The question is easy. Maybe someone asks, "What do you do?" Or, "Tell me about yourself." And you know the answer. You've thought about it before. But in that moment, nothing comes out.
Or something comes out, but it sounds strange. And you're like, wait, that was not my best English.
Yes, and then later, maybe 1 hour later, you suddenly think of the perfect answer. And you say to yourself, "Why didn't I say that before?"
That happens to me all the time. In the moment, my brain is empty, but later, my brain becomes very smart.
And honestly, this can feel frustrating. It can make you feel slow, or nervous, or even a little embarrassed when you are speaking with someone.
Yeah, especially when the other person is waiting. You can feel that silence, and your brain is like, say something, say something.
And the more you feel that pressure, the harder it becomes to speak. Your thoughts are there, but your words don't come at the right time.
It's like your thoughts are running fast, but your mouth is walking very slowly.
That's such a good way to say it. And if this happens to you, I want to say something important. This does not mean your English is bad.
Yeah, not at all. It just means your brain is under pressure. Even native speakers feel this sometimes.
You are not alone in this. Many English learners feel the same thing. And even people who speak English very well can freeze in certain moments.
Like in a job interview, or when you meet new people, or when someone asks you a question in a group.
Yes, those moments can feel a little scary. Not because the question is hard, but because you feel like you need to answer fast and sound good at the same time.
And that's the problem. You try to be fast and perfect. That's too much for your brain.
Right. So today, we're going to talk about why this happens. Why your brain freezes, even when you know what to say.
And once we understand that, it becomes easier to fix, because this is not a mystery. There are clear reasons behind it.
Let's start with one very common reason. Trying to make a perfect sentence in your head before you speak.
Oh yes, the perfect sentence trap. Your brain is like, wait, let me fix the grammar. Let me choose the right word. Let me sound smart.
And while your brain is doing all that work, time is passing. The other person is still waiting. And now you feel even more pressure.
So now you're not just thinking, you're overthinking. And that small pause becomes a big pause.
And when you overthink, you stop the natural flow of speaking. You don't trust your first, simple idea.
You try to build a big, perfect answer, but you don't even say the first small sentence.
That's why many people freeze. Not because they don't know English, but because they are trying to make it perfect.
And then comes the second reason, fear of mistakes.
Yes, this one is very strong. You don't want to say the wrong word. You don't want to make a grammar mistake. You don't want to sound silly.
So your brain says, better to wait, better to be careful. But that waiting makes you more nervous.
And when you feel nervous, your mind becomes less clear. You start to forget simple words, even words you use every day.
It's funny, right? You know the word when you are alone, but in front of people, the word disappears.
That's because of pressure. Your brain is not relaxed. It's trying to protect you from making a mistake.
So instead of helping you speak, it stops you.
And there is one more common reason. You have the idea, but you can't find the English word quickly.
Yes, that word delay. You know what you want to say in your mind, but the English word comes late.
And while you are searching for that one word, the whole sentence stops.
Your brain is like, wait, I know this word. Where is it? And everything becomes slow.
So now we have three big reasons: overthinking, fear, and word delay.
And all of them are connected. One leads to the next.
Yes, you try to be perfect, so you overthink. Then you feel afraid. Then your brain slows down. And then the words don't come.
And then you freeze.
But the good thing is, if we understand this pattern, we can change it.
Because now it's not just, I can't speak. Now it's, I know what is happening.
And in the next part, we're going to talk about what actually helps. Simple things you can do to think faster and speak more clearly.
Real things you can use in real conversations, not big rules, just simple moves that work.
So stay with us. Let's move into that. So now we understand why this problem happens. It's not because you don't know English. It's because your brain is under pressure, trying to do too many things at once. But now the important part is, what can actually help in that moment when someone is waiting for your answer?
Because real conversations don't stop and wait for us. People ask, they look at you, and your brain has to respond. So we need something simple and real, not big theory. Something you can use in that exact moment.
And the first thing is very simple, but very powerful. You need to calm your mind before you try to speak. When your mind is rushing, your thoughts become messy. And then your words also become messy.
Right. And many people do the opposite. They feel pressure, so they try to speak faster. But when you rush, your brain can't organize your ideas properly. You start a sentence, then you change it, then you stop.
Yes, and that's when you feel even more nervous. So instead of trying to be fast, try to be calm first. Fast thinking actually comes from a calm mind, not a stressed one.
That's a big shift. You don't need to speak immediately. You just need 1 small second to reset your mind. That 1 second can change your whole answer.
And that's why it's okay to pause for a moment. Not a long silence, but a small natural pause. You can say something like, let me think. Or, that's a good question.
Yeah, those small lines are very useful. They don't sound strange, they sound natural, and they give your brain a little time to catch up.
And when your brain gets that small space, your thoughts become clearer. You don't feel stuck anymore. You feel more in control.
I use this a lot. If I feel confused, I don't try to give a full answer immediately. I start slowly, give myself time, and then build my answer step by step.
That's a great habit. And once you feel calm, the next step becomes easier. Now you need a simple way to build your sentence.
Yeah, because many learners get stuck here. They try to create a long, perfect sentence in their head before speaking, and that's where everything breaks.
So instead, we keep it simple. You don't need a perfect sentence. You just need a clear structure to start with.
Exactly. Use small sentence starters, like, I think, for me, in my opinion, or one reason is.
These small beginnings help your brain move forward. You don't feel lost anymore because you already have a starting point.
Let's take an example. Someone asks, what do you think about working from home?
You can say, I think it's good because I feel more comfortable at home. That's simple, but very clear.
And that's what smart speaking really is. Not big words, not long answers, just clear ideas.
Yes, clear is always better than complicated. When people understand you easily, you sound more confident.
And also, your brain feels lighter. You are not trying to carry too many ideas in one sentence.
Exactly. One idea at a time. That's the key. Say one thing clearly, then move to the next if you want.
A lot of people think they need to say more to sound smart. But actually, saying less in a clear way is stronger.
That's so true. A short, clean answer can feel much more natural than a long, confusing one.
Like if someone asks, what did you do today? You don't need a long story. You can say, I worked most of the day and then relaxed at home.
That's enough. It answers the question and keeps the conversation going.
And here's something important. Speaking is not only about talking, it also depends on how you listen.
Yes, many people forget this. They stop listening because they are busy thinking about what to say next.
And then they miss the question, so their answer becomes weak or off topic.
So try this instead. Listen fully first. Understand the feeling and the idea of the question.
Then respond to that idea. You don't need to create something new, you just react to what you heard.
For example, if someone says, "I had a very busy day," you can say, "Oh, that sounds tiring."
That's a perfect response. Simple, natural, and connected to the other person.
And when you stay connected in the conversation, your brain feels more relaxed.
And when your brain is relaxed, your words come faster. That's the interesting part.
Yes, thinking fast is not about speed. It's about clarity and comfort.
So let's quickly look at what we learned here. First, stay calm. Don't rush your answer.
Second, take a small pause if you need it. Give your brain 1 second.
Third, use simple sentence starters to begin your answer.
Fourth, say one idea at a time. Keep it clear and easy.
And fifth, listen carefully before you speak.
These are simple habits, but they can really change how you speak.
Yeah, you don't need to fix everything today. Just try one small change and see how it feels.
And in the next part, we'll talk about how you can practice this in your daily life.
Because knowing is good, but using it every day is what really helps.
So let's move into that next. So now we understand what helps in real conversations. You stay calm, you take a small pause, you use simple sentences, and you listen carefully. But there is still one important question. How do we practice this in real life so that it becomes natural?
Yeah, because in real situations, everything feels fast. People ask suddenly, and you don't get time to prepare. So if we want to think faster, we need to train our brain before those moments happen.
And the good thing is, this skill is not something you are born with. You can build it step by step. You just need small, simple habits that you can repeat every day.
Right. You don't need a perfect setup. You don't need long study hours. Even a few minutes of speaking every day can help your brain become quicker and more confident.
One very easy way is to answer simple questions out loud. You can ask yourself questions like, "What did I do today?" Or, "What do I think about this topic?"
And the important part is, don't try to make the answer perfect. Just speak. Even if your sentence is short or not perfect, keep going.
Yes, give yourself maybe 20 or 30 seconds and just talk. Don't stop to fix every mistake. Don't go back and change your sentence.
At first, it might feel uncomfortable. You might pause, repeat words, or forget something. But that's okay. That's how your brain learns.
And slowly, you will notice a change. Your answers will start coming faster. You won't feel stuck like before.
Another helpful way is to practice common questions again and again. Questions like, "Tell me about yourself," or "What do you like to do?"
Yes, and try to answer them in different ways. Don't use the same exact sentence every time.
This is important because in real conversations, people don't always ask the same question in the same way. So your brain needs to be flexible.
When you practice like this, your brain learns how to change words and still keep the same meaning.
And then, when someone asks you something similar, you don't feel lost. You already have a direction in your mind.
Another simple habit is to describe your day or your surroundings in English.
Yeah, like when you are walking, sitting, or even just relaxing. You can say what you see, what you feel, or what you are doing.
For example, I am sitting at home. It's quiet. I feel a little tired but relaxed. Very simple but very helpful.
This kind of practice helps you connect your thoughts with English words faster. You don't have to search too much.
And the more you do this, the more natural it feels. Your brain starts to respond in English without too much effort.
And here's something very important to remember. Thinking fast does not mean you speak very quickly.
Yes, that's a big misunderstanding. Smart speaking is not about speed. It's about clarity.
If your answer is clear and easy to understand, people will feel that you are confident.
Even if your English is simple, you can still sound strong and smart.
In fact, simple English often sounds more natural than very complicated English.
When you keep your ideas clear and your sentences simple, people can follow you easily.
And when people understand you, the conversation becomes easier. You feel more relaxed, and your brain works better.
So the goal is not to impress people with big words. The goal is to share your idea clearly.
Yes, clear message, calm mind, simple words. That's what smart speaking really is.
And if your brain freezes sometimes, that's okay. It happens to everyone.
Yeah, don't be too hard on yourself. One slow moment does not mean you are bad at English.
Just take a breath, give yourself a second, and continue. That small step is enough.
And the more you practice these small habits, the easier it becomes. Your brain will learn to respond faster over time.
So before we end, here's something simple for you to try. Think of one question that usually makes you freeze.
And practice answering that question today. Keep it simple. Don't try to be perfect.
You can even write your answer in the comments. Just 1 or 2 lines is enough.
Yeah, something like, I feel stuck when someone asks me this. That's already a great start.
And remember, you don't need fast, perfect English. You just need a calm mind and a clear idea.
And you've been listening to the English Conversation Podcast.
We'll see you in the next one. Take care.